But all miracles require sacrifice. How all you want, it won't bring him back.
Welcome to another Warframe video, and with my last poll, even though there wasn't many people who could click on it, more were beginners than people who are experienced with the game or have played the game before. So with that, I decided to make this video first, which is the best way to get some good rare mods for beginners. Now, putting this towards beginners, really what we're going to look at are the easiest and low level ways in getting it. They're going to bring it to you the quickest and are the ones that are going to help you the most with your weapons and your frames. Mostly your frames with most of these, just because frames are really important. Obviously, they're really important to the game, but they're also a huge factor to everything. I mean, sure, weapons are nice. There are a lot of frames that have an ability that help out your weapon. There are a lot of frames that really don't need weapons, really. They're just great. But to first get into this, we're going to look at syndicates. Now, syndicates I talk about a lot in my videos. They're just so important, especially for frames, even to make platinum too. If you want to make platinum, these are actually pretty good to get and just hold on to. And you can go in the trade chat and you can just wait for somebody to see if they want to buy a mod and hope it's one of these that you have or anything else like that. Likely they're not going to ask for these weapon mods, but they may ask for like an Ember mod that they don't want to go to another syndicate to farm on to get that one. They just want to buy it for 10-15 platinum. I made a poll too. What was your first frame that you got? Really nobody did mag, which isn't a shocker, but most of you did Excalibur, and then the other half was Volt, but it was mostly Excalibur. And with it, they have some Excalibur mods that are really going to help when you first get the game. The regular Excalibur can pull you through a lot of the missions and the quests. I mean, that's what I did. Granted, I knew what I was doing because I played the game all the way through before, but Excalibur can really be used for a lot of things, and having these mods are really going to help your gameplay with them. For example, Furious Javelin, each enemy hit will increase Excalibur's melee damage by 15% for 16 seconds. This can really stack up, and it can really be beneficial to your melee weapon. Again, this is another thing where a frame's going to help out a weapon. Alright, now leaving off the syndicates, I talk about them way too much, so let's get into more of the mission type stuff that you're going to be able to farm. Now, I do have a beginner's guide or a new player's guide, where it's kind of showing you how you should go through these junctions and how they're really important and how you need to do quests. So to begin that, you're going to need Cetus and Deimos, and with that, you're going to have to complete the quests in order to even unlock them. Now, you need Heart of Deimos completed, and then you need Saya's Vigil. But if you go here to Cetus, you're here at Cetus, you're going to fast travel to Kanzu. There's some mods that are actually really good, and they're not necessarily rare. To start off, you have shield capacity. More than likely, shield and health is going to be the first mods that you're going to have. Now, Argor Reach is really good. A lot of frames need that range on their frame with their specific abilities. A lot of them need something to stretch out for longer, have a long radius, anything else like that. So reach and range is a really good thing to have. You should have the mod Reach by now. So there are 3 separate mods that I want to look at. I know I have 2 of them on my frame right now. You have Argor Message, Secrets, and Reach. Secrets is the hardest to get. A lot of people actually ask to buy this, so this may be a thing. If you have it in a bounty, do it as many times as you can, as many times as you can possibly get this thing. It's really helpful and useful. Strength, reach, and duration are all things that you need for a frame. For example, Volt, this last ability has all of those in one, but you have to kind of build it on what you like. So you need range for that whole effect to go out as far as it possibly can. You need duration for those affected to have that status effect going on and on and on, and you need that strength to have that status effect do a lot of damage, where you see their damage a second, and if I took off Argor Secrets, that goes down to under 3,000. When I put it back on, it's over 3,000. So that's just briefly how that works and why Cetus is so good for that. Now quickly, I'm going to show Deimos and show you the mods that are really useful there. Alright, so you go to Deimos, you fast travel to Mother where you can get the bounties. Again, they have the basic ones here that you can find anywhere, and then they have these I don't have. They're really difficult to get, and if I briefly go here, I have 49. The majority of these are from this mission specifically. I've tried to do these missions to get some of these mods. It's pretty hard to get. Trust me, it is really hard to get. I did it over and over again. It's endless. You can keep going on and on and on. I don't know if there's a trick to this. I have no idea. I would have to try to figure it out. You have to go figure it out, because I have no idea why I only get an Amber Star. But moving off of that, they have some really good mods that you want to look at. Now for your melees, they have Slash. I do have this though. Slash, Puncture, and Impact. And what these do is they do 2 things, which is really beneficial, especially with the capacity rate, with the capacity it holds. So really pay attention to this. 90% impact, 60% status chance, and that for all of these were 90% and 60%. So damage and status usually go hand in hand together. So if you're ever building something off a slash, you're probably going to build it off a status as well. You're not going to build it off your, you're going to build it off a status and melee damage. So these are really, really good to have. Even though they say they're common, they're really good to have. Then you have some Warframe. You have armor and health, armor and health, armor and health. These are all the same, except they have a benefit on the bottom. Lifted enemies explode on death, dealing 10% enemy max health as impact damage in a 4-meter radius. And then this one is just immunity to status effect, which is probably the best one out of all of this. And then puncture damage, dealing 25 puncture damage. In my opinion, not having a status effect on you is really, really good, especially with the way they made Eximus enemies now. They're very annoying to fight against, so this is going to be really good for that. Then you have the rare ones, which is for a pistol, which you can rarely ever get good mods for a pistol. At least I can never. This is slash and status, impact and status, and puncture and status, just like the melee, but for a pistol. And these recipes are really, really good. You need to get these. So if you can, they're only level 25 through 30. I recommend farming this as much as possible, because you really want all these mods, especially if you're just starting. This is really, really going to help you out. It is going to be huge to everything you're doing in the game when you're a beginner. Then obviously you have the mods that are higher on when you're going for higher level enemies. I don't know how easy it would be for you to do these type of things, but just focus on this one. It's called strip mining. I think it's always this way. I don't know what happens in an hour. I don't really remember this ever changing. I've never been here when this is different, so just continue doing this mission and try to get those mods. Then you obviously have the harder ones, but these are for necromech, so don't pay attention to those. But this one, 25 through 30, please trust me, this is the best way you're gonna get good mods as a beginner, and you're gonna see the changes immediately. More than likely you're gonna be in a full squad every time you start. All right, now the last thing that I'm not so sure if you're gonna have, but I am gonna briefly describe it or briefly show it in case you do. You just have to have planets unlocked. Now Earth and Deimos, obviously you're gonna have Earth unlocked, and that quest is usually a pretty quick and pretty early on that you'll be able to do that quest. And then Deimos, I have no idea. I'd imagine that's early on as well, but that's right next to ours, so you're gonna be fine with that. And I don't think there's a junction to it. There's not, so you're fine. All you need is one Mars junction, and then you can get those two places fairly easy. I believe it's gonna be easy. I don't know if you get yeah, you'll be fine with that, so it should be easy peasy. Look at these. So that the main thing that I want to focus on now is the status mod for like shotgun, melee, and pistol, I believe. And this is all three of these are going to come from one character on Void. That is Vore when he comes back, and that's going to be on Moat. The reason I'm not really so prominent on this is because I don't know if you're here yet. As a beginner, it's not really told to me how beginner you are. You could be low master rank and have all these planets unlocked by now, at least the junctions or most of them. I don't know about Pluto. Sedna's pretty hard to get, I think. I mean, Sedna's one of the highest level ones. I mean, you just saw that 60, 34, 38, but they're still pretty easy nonetheless. But you just have to make a little way through here and to go to Void, and then you can unlock these and go to Moat. So Moat has Vore spawn at usually around 5 to 10 minutes, and then when he does, he has that chance of dropping 3 status toxin mods, which are really helpful, especially if you're pairing them up with a cold mod or a fire mod or anything else like that that's going to create that combined status effect, like viral damage or gas or anything else like that. Radiation. You also have Lua. If you go through the quest, you're going to unlock Lua. You can only do it by doing quests, which is the second dream, I believe, or the War Within. Those really important quests is what unlocks Lua for you. And then there are I believe it's every single mission except for defense and survival. Maybe survival. I don't think they have one, actually. Oh, maybe not. I might have lied. Yeah. So there are some missions here that on the map they have a specific way to get some mods. They're not the greatest mods, I guess. What I mean by that is they're not one that you're going to want to put on with your main build. There's the little thing by your aura section where you can unlock it, and that's where you put these specific mods, and they're going to help your strength just a little bit. One of them has an aura effectiveness, so it's going to help with that. So if you have one for health, there's an aura for health that you can get more health. That would just increase that health. So they're pretty good mods, and they're pretty low in capacity, so that is very useful as well, but they're not the main things you want to target. And then as you level up, you're gonna get rare mods, and I just did a excavation mission on Pluto, try to get some Axie relics and Dio relics, and I got actually a lot of rare mods from those excavation sites. So excavation seems to be a pretty good thing to do as well. They're normally quick. Public lobbies are the best bet for that because they have the enemy spawn in more of an abundance, so it's going to be easier for you to have that excavation go on quicker and always have that cell to put in the excavation site or excavation drill. So yeah, excavation missions on the higher level planets are going to be good for you as well. And then Void on Moat has Vore spawn to get those toxin missions. But Deimos and Cetus, please do those missions. missions. Those are going to be really beneficial to you. And with Pluto and Void, since they're high level, you're likely at some point, even Saturn or Jupiter, you're going to get Intensify or Continuity at some point, which are going to help with your duration and strength. And there is another thing that you can do, but I think that is more for the higher level players, so I will put that in my next one. I talk about just the best ways to get mods, because I think I'm going to redo that video, because I think it's about time to redo that video. I don't think I really explained it well enough in the last one. All right, let me know if that helped you out, if you understood what I was saying. And please, again, Deimos and Cetus are likely your best bet here. If you have any questions or are confused on how to get some of these quests in order to unlock that place, just let me know. My Instagram will be in the description, so you can go message me on that. I'm not obviously getting a lot of messages, so I will be able to message you back. And I believe they're cross-platform with PS4 as well. I think I've only seen Xbox players, or maybe they just show only the Xbox player tag. But if you're Xbox or PC for right now that I know of, I could definitely help you out with some of those things, or just explain it to you in a better way where you can understand it when some people may not, or some people may and you may not.
But you have never had to sacrifice your love for faith. Imagine to live forever with only one memory. Seeing the one you love die.